What's going on, y'all? Happy Monday. Josh here from Outer Pokejacks. Today's topic is going to be about distribution. So every once in a while, I get comments about, hey, you got it made, you got distribution. That's just not the case for all you folks out there. When you get distribution right off the rip, you have to earn your way up, right? There's tiers, there's spin history, there's a whole bunch of levels involved with it. So right now with the state of the market and how things are with Pokemon, you just don't get Pokemon right off the rip. Right? It took me about 6 months of a lot of spin credit to get to that point. I would guesstimate maybe around 10K worth of ancillary products, the things that most people don't want: binders, top loaders, sleeve protectors, model kits, all these things that kind of added up to build my spin history to get Pokemon. And then once I did get Pokemon, I didn't get a lot. Like right off I think my first allocation was like two booster bundles. That was it. And then finally it started moving up as the year passed. So I've been with distribution now for a year and a half, almost going on two. And yes, the numbers are getting better, but it's still based off spin credit. You got to think you have a long history of folks before you that are going to get allocations way before me, right? So I'm blessed and I'm extremely grateful for what I do get. I wish I always had more, but I just want to paint the pictures that, hey, you if you're new and you want to start a business, you know, once you get distribution, it's just you don't get things right off the rip unless you're brick and mortar, which that's a different story. I'm an online only, so it is different for me with allocations. Now, I've been dabbling a lot more with other things now. I've been doing Warhammer now. I'm getting other TCGs. Like tomorrow, I'll get Hololive. I'll get some My Little Pony, which I don't know how that's going to fare, but I figured why not give it a shot. I know it has a huge fan base. Maybe there's a niche out there I haven't quite found that I can use to, show My Little Pony off. That kind of works in a weird way, saying that, show My Little Pony off. Yeah, got it. But Hololive seems to be a good thing. I know I always hear Rudy talking about Hololive. I've been getting Weiss. I'm hoping I'll get the Weiss Snake A Girls 2 set, which I heard is it's going to be a good set to have. I've gotten Godzilla over the past, so I've kind of opened up TCG. Oh, and Cookie Run, which surprisingly has done very well for me. I am truly thankful to my Cookie Run fan base out there that have purchased a lot of Cookie Run, especially with the pre-orders with the next set coming out. It'll be here not this week, but the following week. So I got a lot of pre-orders I got to pack up. I mean, when I mean a lot, I have a lot. So I am grateful for those Cookie Run fans and helping one build my spin allocation, and two, I'm getting the product to you at a very reasonable price. I think I'm making between $3 to $4 a box, which, hey, for me, that's totally okay. Like I said, as long as I break even and I make a couple of dollars, I'm a happy camper, right? And then those dollars go back into trying to restock on Japanese and Chinese, which yes, I have been lacking on, and mainly because it's just the market's so volatile, and you try to compete with eBay and some of these other sellers. Sometimes it's very difficult, and I'm just trying to make sure that the price is right, so I can offer at a fair price to y'all. Because that plus shipping, yes, you're gonna have shipping. I always bring it up. I hate shipping. I hate talking about it. So I'm just gonna move on from it. But yes, I just try to make sure I get the fairest price out there that makes the most sense, that people are going to want to buy. When I think Chinese, most folks are wanting something a little cheaper. Japanese has definitely gotten expensive. I looked at the pre-orders for the new Rayquaza set, and they're pretty dang high. They're up there. I'm kind of watching it, waiting to see if it'll drop down a little bit where it makes sense. Because I do want to get that, and I do want to get that out to y'all as a fair price. But I typically, what I'm doing now with Japanese is kind of waiting 2 weeks, because if you can be patient and you can wait 2 weeks, typically the sets go down in price. Now, that's not all the time. Like Abyssai, it stayed pretty high for a little bit, but it did decrease over time. So if you're patient and you can wait 2 weeks, I'm going to be watching it. I'll probably be able to get it to you at a fairer price than originally it advertises at. Because, yeah, when it first comes out, everybody wants it. And I understand it. Everybody's trying to beat their chop, try to get there, try to get the big pools, try to send it to PSA or Beckett, wherever.
Speaking of which, premiercardgrading.com. If you use promo code POKE Jack7, you get a discount on bulk submissions. So please join those Spartans. You know what Rudy says, the David the Goliath battle. This was try to beat PSA. You know, I think it's like $17.99 or something like that with my bulk code. Save you some cash, send it off. I sent some cards out. I should be getting some back here this week, so I'm excited to get those, and I'll show them off in a video. He says toughest slabs, laser engraved, no paper, no paper labels. So hey, we'll see what it's about. I support it. I think it's a great cause. I do think it's kind of ridiculous that PSA charges all these sub charges for your cards. That's just a little over the top now. But back on topic, yeah, distribution, it's great, but you just got to realize it's a new business. If you're a new business owner, it takes some time to get it. And even when you do get it, you're not getting Pokemon right off the start. So you got to be ready to build that spin history. It's kind of how they weed out who's who in the zoo. You got to buy the things that are less desirable to show, hey, I'm in it to win it. I'm here for the long haul. And hopefully, as the years go by, I'll continue to accumulate more and more and more allocations. But, being the new guy on the totem pole with all these books, I don't know if Pokey has the same one that I do, or whoever, Rudy or whatever, but I'm at the bottom of the bottom of the fish tank. So hopefully, as time passes, I'll get more allocations. Which is true. I am getting a wave 2. This is the first wave 2 I've gotten of anything in a while. I did get some from Perfect Order, which, there were some issues with Perfect Order. That's what I think they gave me extra allocations. But this is like the first official, hey, you're getting more allocations. You're getting a wave 2, which will be more ETBs and more booster bundles. For the MSRP lottery, that's what I did. Booster bundles, they're just going to be put on the website for everybody. ETBs and booster boxes, they're going to be the ones that are the MSRP lottery. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. I just didn't see the value of doing an MSRP lottery for booster bundles. I saw more value in ETBs and booster boxes. And as time progresses, yes, the 30th anniversary, I'm not quite sure how I want to tackle that one yet. I don't know what my allocations are going to be like. It's still way, 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 way too early to tell. I don't know if I'm going to do an MSRP lottery for that or not yet. I haven't quite made up my mind. This could be the very last one. I might just put them all on the website from now on because of the amount of time and effort. And I get feedback from both directions. I like doing this. I don't like doing this. You can't make everybody happy. And it being so time consuming and taking a lot of effort on my part, and I still get a lot of flack. Part of me is on the side of, well, I just don't want to do it anymore because no matter what I do, it doesn't make anybody happy. So, hey, if you want to chance it on your own will, I put it on the website. You get it. You don't. Just like Pokemon Center or Target. I don't know if I've been botted once, maybe. I can't confirm or deny. It was just a very odd analytics that day. I don't know if there was a whole bunch of people coming in or what, but I don't want to do. I want to give everybody the opportunity, a chance at something at MSRP, but with the amount of flack I get, it just discourages me. It really does. And the only people that go on to the MSRP lottery will is anybody that's bought anything from the website. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be one top loader. It can be whatever. You automatically enter for it every single time. So, one buy gets you in every single roll. And hopefully as time progresses, I get more allocations and that will allow more folks. I think this time there was 96 folks on the MSRP wheel. Only 8 ETBs and 3 booster boxes. That's only 11 winners out of 96 or 93, whatever the number was. So yeah, it's not a whole lot, but it's my way to give back, especially to the customers that have been loyal and at least bought one thing from the website. But like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll think about it. It's just, like I said, it's a lot of work to do it, and I get grief regardless. So, like I said, it's just kind of discouraging. So, but yep, distribution, great. It's awesome. Just a lot of work. You grind to get to that point, and you're grinding when you get into that point. So don't think because you get it right off, you get it, you're getting stuff right off the rip. Like I said, if you're not a brick and mortar, that's just not a case. And I even heard brick and mortars don't even get that much either. So, that's kind of why you see, people selling back to the brick and mortars and all these other crazy things going on. Like, I get it. They have overhead. They have employees. They got to pay, pay the payroll. We got to pay the rent, got to pay utilities. I don't hate on any LGS. I get it. I give them props. It's not an easy time in the world right now to be an LGS owner with the amount of product that everybody's kind of getting. So with that being said, I wish y'all nothing but the best. Until next time, 904 out.